Hey guys, this is Mac10. My Twitter and my YouTube account have changed. They are no longer, my YouTube account's the same, as you can see. My Twitter is now at esportsmonies, which will be linked in the description. My Twitch account is still the same, and you can see me streaming Lycan games a lot. Okay, so this is my new guide to Lycan because the old one is really out of date and honestly just really shitty and inefficient. So this is my new Lycan guide. I have to give full credit to a player named Microsoft here, who's a regular on the Dota 2 subreddit, and he essentially taught me how to play Lycan. He is a 5.4k MMR player. He's an all-around really cool dude. I just added him one day, and he was nice enough to take a very large amount of time to teach me to Lycan. By now, I've played almost twice as many games with Lycan as he has, but he's still a much better player than me. Lycan's one of his most played heroes, but he's an overall just good player who can play anything. A little bit of background for this guy. He taught me how to do this, and I've brought my MMR from 3,200 to 4,300 in about 2.5 weeks, just grinding lots and lots of games with this build, and just playing lots and lots of Lycan. Now, Lycan's a really strong hero right now, but most people don't play him correctly. So I'm going to be going into some of the details of what I do that I think is just better, and that Microsoft thinks is just better. First of all, there's an illusion rune here. You can see I'm scouting the wolves. You want to send those wolves out around 40 or 50 seconds. Sometime between 8 and 10 seconds, you want to summon your wolves in the fountain. Wait for that to get to at least 170 on your mana, and then you go. Your starting build is always wolves first. Quelling Blade, Stout, Shield, Tangos. Go ahead and queue up Vladimir's Offering. That'll be your first real item. The goal here is to get Roshan before 10 minutes. Usually you can kill him at 7-something, maybe 8-something. This is a hard camp, but you can kill it at level 1 with a Stout Shield. Most people don't realize this. You cannot kill the Ursa camp, the Ursa hard camp at level 1. You can kill the Centaur hard camp at level 1. You want your wolves, you want to tank the whole thing by yourself until the big one dies. Because if he summons his little minions, you're in for some trouble. Because, okay, you can go ahead and attack my little minions now. That's great. But yeah, I wish you were. He should be attack. You should micro it to attack your wolves. That was a little bit of a misplay here. Even after 360 games with this hero, you still make mistakes. There's just little like micro things you can't always account for. Ogre camp. This is an okay camp. You don't want to always go for the ogre camp first. Killing one of the hard camps, except for the centaur camp. The centaur camp is just hell, and you never want to have a centaur camp. But you have to kill it sometimes. DK's fucking me up right now because he's roaming and he's going to leech experience from this next ogre. Maybe. Do not let your wolf die like I almost did there. That would be a big tragedy.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
This is a fucking bot game. I don't know why the bots are like diving so fucking deep. Whatever. I should have just turned this onto a private lobby. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate how you can jungle Lycan really efficiently, not necessarily to like demonstrate all the contingencies that happen in a real game. Something that you'll notice is that you can preserve the aggro of the creep you're fighting by sending Lycan, the hero itself, into the target's hitbox. Like normally, like, see that's the melee range right there? Like, hold on. That's melee range. But if you click a little bit farther, you can really get up in the monster's grill. You want to do this. By getting up into the monster's grill, you almost entirely force the monster to attack you. If it's attacking something else and you get up in its grill, it won't switch to you, but if you pull your wolves away after you've gone up in its grill, then it will. Centaurs are the worst camp. You want to avoid them at all costs. You don't want to avoid them at all costs, but they're just really inconvenient. They give like virtually no experience, they give virtually no money, and they are one of the hardest camps to kill. So I hate them, I hate their stun, I hate everything about them. You can hear me bitching on my stream all the time about how much I hate centaur camps. Centaur camps essentially exist in the jungle just to balance out really like good junglers like Lycan. If every camp were a small satyr camp, this hero would be completely broken and would never ever lose ever under any circumstances. He'd also be maybe the best jungler in the game if every camp were a satyr. You can notice I'm getting really low, and I'm getting like actually pretty dangerously low. The goal for this build is to suicide as soon as you can spend all your money on a decent item. I'm trying to save for a Morbid Mask right now. However, I might not be able to. I should be able to. I'm gonna die. Okay, got the Morbid Mask. You can't always do that. Sometimes you have to suicide early and get a mask or a Ring of Regen and a Ring of Basilius, which is a total of 850. Sometimes, for example, if... That's so annoying. God, that's so annoying. For example, if you run into a situation where you get, if you get nothing but Centaur camps, it's going to be almost impossible for you to get Mask of Death before you suicide. So in that situation, you just buy a Ring of Basilius and die. It's only 500 gold in, but you're going to be way more mana starved and way more health starved than you would be normally because you had really hard camps that gave you no levels. Right now, the jungle. This is a pretty. This is a slightly above average jungle. This has been a decent jungle. For the hard camps, at level 1, you cannot kill the Ursas in the hard camps, and you cannot kill the Wildkins, and you prefer not to kill Centaurs because you never want to kill Centaurs ever. See, it's like sometimes you can't dodge their stun. Their stun's really glitchy, unlike the Ursa. The Ursa, like, thing he does, the big damaging slow. You can usually dodge that. You can't always dodge the Centaur stun. You can usually dodge the Centaur stun, but if you fuck it up, then you're going to be in a situation where your wolves are going to be attacked during the stun, or could be attacked during the stun. Oh, no, I fucked up there. But, you could find yourself in a situation where your wolves are, being attacked during the stun, which is really, really, really far from optimal. Go ahead and let this wolf die now, because I have a new level of wolf, so it'll be more efficient. Also have Ring of Basilius coming now, which will help with the mana a lot. Ring of Basilius is really good for mana. Really, there's not too much of a difference in the efficiency of having, yeah, see how easy that was to get him to proc his, like, AoE thing? But yeah, there's not too much of a difference in the efficiency of the Ring of Basilius, Ring of Regen, or in having just the Morbid Mask. Morbid Mask is a little bit better because you'll just always have health. But the Ring of Regen gives you a little bit of health, and you'll also have more defense because you'll have the armor from the Basilius, and you'll also have more wolves because that pretty much doubles your mana regen. Also, the easy camp, another big part of this guide is the easy camp. Stay the fuck away from the easy camp unless he's just like sitting here and you'd have to fight centaurs otherwise. Or there's just no other camps around or alive, or they're all blocked or something. Or you just need to grab a camp really quickly because of whatever reason, because like camps are dead or you're really low health. This fucking Wraith King is really pissing me off. I should have done this without any bots, because normally in the jungle, even around 4K, like you'll probably be relatively unbothered, like people won't harass you too much. Your allies, as a jungler, your allies can be your biggest enemy sometimes, because they can walk by going to gank, and they don't even realize it, and they come within your EXP radius, and they really, really slow you down. It's really important that you get as much experience early as you can, and up to the Vlads as can. Because the idea here is to kill Roshan before 10 minutes, so Roshan is still relatively weak, and that'll also give you a good springboard for the rest of the game, because you'll have a couple extra levels in money. Also, we just got a second Centaur camp, as you can see. That makes game a lot harder. My money right now is close to optimal. It's 7 minutes in and I have a Vlads, but you actually need level 7 to kill Rosh. You're also going to want to have an extra 100 gold so you can buy a smoke before you get into Rosh. Right now, we're killing the Satyr camp. The Satyr camp is the best. The medium Satyr camp is the best camp in the game for a jungler. Like, you should smile whenever you see a Satyr camp. You should be happy. You should be excited. You are, like, it's the best thing that could possibly happen to you. A Centaur camp is the opposite. Whenever you see a Centaur camp, you should piss Ice Fraud's name, or curse Ice Fraud's name, rage a little bit. Just basically, you should be unhappy when you see this camp. This should be enough, yeah, for level 7. People inviting me to play games. We have it's a bot game, which, like, the only advantage of this would have been to have an early courier. We have a walking courier, so. If you cannot use the courier for this, during this time, then... Oh, wow. I didn't lose Invis? That's really cool. I thought I would have lost Invis to doing one of those actions. But yeah, if you cannot use the courier, it's perfectly acceptable to ult back to base, because you get there super fast, then buy a TP TP to the
middle tower is under
the
attack.
tier 2 bottom or the tier 3 or the tier 1 mid, and then just run. The idea is to have your wolves tank as much as possible without letting them die. If Roshan bashes one of your wolves, it will go invis before he will kill the wolf. But if he double bashes, then you'll lose that wolf for sure. I'm gonna back now and let Roshan beat on my wolves because they're almost expired. Normally you always smoke in, and you don't grab the rune unless you're sure that they're not gonna see you. Like, you're sure that they've got something going on somewhere, like there's a big team fight going on or something, and you're pretty positive they won't see you.
Roche is just a chill dude, so someone explain to me why Radiant had to go and kill him.
People are talking to me. I don't know why that didn't give me level 9. It should have. I think it was because I just barely broke into level 7. Yeah, so there we go. But yeah, now you're level 9, you can get a good springboard to kill the Ancients. Something that's really underrated with this hero is that you can kill the Ancients right after you kill Roche. You're level 9 and you can kill the Ancients all day. You can stack them and kill them and stack them and kill them and stack them and kill them. This is the guy that's taking place on the Radiant side, as you can see. So, I'm going to be farming middle and rotating here back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And this will give me... another 2B. This will give me a very large amount of farm. Like, very, very, very large amount of farm. If you're on the dire side, you do the same thing, but you rotate... Don't kill my dog! Yes! If you're on the dire side, you can do the same thing, but you rotate from the bottom lane to that ancient camp. This is something that can be disrupted, though, if there's a lot of fighting going in one of these lanes. But the Ancients are worth a lot, so you need to be sticking around the Ancients for at least a couple levels. It will help you continue the massive lead you have. Next item after Treads is pretty much universally Necrobook. You have to get a Necrobook on this hero. It's just the most damage possible. It will let you get kills after they've already killed you. It will just let you do things that you can't normally do. This is not part of the guide, this is just me having fun. Fuck, get him, get that dude, get that fucking dude. That was kind of a mess up. I think I messed up the courier there. Oh well. I don't know why I'm pressing the push to talk button, just habit, I guess. But, so, this is basically the guide in a nutshell. As soon as it's convenient, you can get the middle tier 1 or the bottom tier 1, depending on which side you're on, Radiant or Dire.
The enemy's
normally, it's pretty hard to mess up the last hit for the tier 1 towers because you have the 2 wolves, even if you're competing with another hero. Now, really quickly, let's talk about some contingencies. Contingencies include if you're really behind, if there's a lot of lockdown on the enemy team, or you're losing all your lanes. If there's a lot of lockdown on the enemy team, you may have to go BKB before Necro 2. Usually, you should almost always get Necro 1, but sometimes you just have to get Necro... sometimes you just have to skip it for BKB. That being said, I've never done it. I've just never done it. Like, I can't bring myself to do it. Really quickly, a little micro thing. You have to kill this big one last, or you have to... Don't try to pull this. Don't try to pull that big yellow creep unless you've already killed the... unless you're doing it by attacking the small creeps in the camp, because it will use an ability that will cause it to lose aggro, and then you'll fuck up your stack. So that might be it. I'm trying to think what other little tricks you can do. You can pull your wolf away because he'll go invis fast enough that you usually won't lose him, but while you're doing that, you'll almost always lose the other wolf, which is kind of annoying. There, Luna should drop a stun right now. I think she's gonna drop a stun. Oh shit. We're winning pretty hard right now. Yeah, you are out, dude. But yeah, you can see it's about 13 minutes in. I think I have 1 kill. Yeah. And we have all the tier 1s, which is positively skewing how much gold I have. But generally speaking, you should be able to get a Necro 1 by about 15 minutes, and you should always finish the Necrobook 3 by 20 minutes. Usually, 19 minutes is like when I try to get my Necrobook level 3 finished. From then, it just comes down to practice, like always microing your wolves so they walk in front of you because they walk faster than you, blocking people with your wolves because they're invisible from level 3 now, like taking towers when you shouldn't be able to take towers. After Necro 3, I almost always go Assault Cuirass, but if we're really behind, so I'll sometimes go Boots of Travel, just because everybody loves Boots of Travel. It's a really, really good item, and it'll help you split push when you're behind, which is really nice. It'll let you rat Dota. He's gonna get away. Couple of other big tips before I end this guide. Try to stay out of base as much as possible because you have really good regen with the Vlads, and you have sick lifesteal, and you have little wolves to tank for you, and you can alternate the tank. These have 15, at level 4 your wolves have 15 health per second regen. That's enough to keep them alive through almost, that's enough for them to be alive pretty consistently if you don't want them to even take the chance of fighting. So you can micro them away while they're invisible and let them heal up a couple seconds, then have them come back in and heal up just from the fighting as well, because they have the lifesteal from the Vlads.
Beware the wolf.
But generally speaking, you don't have to go back to base very much, and you really, like, that's something new players or bad players or just players in general really underestimate, is like how much being in your base hurts you. My fucking guy just earned my illusion. That's cool. So anyway, I think that's about everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really significant to go along with this guide. There are a few other things, like just you want to be constantly thinking about Ancients with this hero, especially for the first half of the game, because he's like the best Ancient killer in Dota in the early game. Honestly, I think before 25 minutes this is the best farming hero in the game, unless you're an absolute perfect person with Anti-Major Faceless Void with the Battle Fury. I think in general this is the best farming hero in Dota in the early game. He's just really good at it. He can also fight really well in the early game, as you can see, just kind of tearing people up. It is a bot game, but like you can always kind of tear people up with this hero. Oh, I thought I'd ulted. Wow. Wow, yeah. This hero just hits really, really hard, especially against like even like semi-farm people, like in the mid game and the early game. You fight really well. Another thing that you need to be conscious of is you want to be really, really good about choosing when to fight and when to farm with this hero, because he farms so efficient in the early game. Only go to fights that you think, or rather you know you can win. That's a pretty big thing to deal with him. So again, another thing with his Ancient Camp is don't hit the big one unless you know you can kill it before the stack. Otherwise you have to attack the little blue ones and pull using those, because he'll use an ability, it will mess up your stack. Okay, it's 16-20 and I have Necro 3. Granted, we're dominating this game, but usually you should expect to get it between 18 and 20 to finish your Necro 3. After that, if you're ahead, I like Assault Cuirass. If you're behind, go Boots of Travel. If they have a lot of lockdowns, sometimes you have to go BKB. Maybe 1 or 2 out of 100 games, I'll get Necro 3, then BKB, and then either Assault Cuirass or some other big item. You can tell I'm really bad about using the Courier, but that's because I don't like to interrupt my allies. You can disrespect them and take the Courier faster if you need to. Especially, like, if we're losing really hard, I'll be a bitch about the Courier and just take it whenever I want. I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide. I hope you found it useful, especially the early game jungling part. Remember, get up in their grill. Like, get up in their grill. Okay, he didn't stun. But regardless, get up in their grill. Get up in their grill. Get up in their grill. They will not attack your weak creeps, they'll just attack you. You want to always keep your wolves alive, and you want them to take damage when their time's almost out. Those are two big things. Once Lycan gets out of the jungle, he's okay. Another thing is, make sure people understand that while you're in the jungle, you shouldn't be helping people fight. Unless someone's in the jungle and they're low, or you have a bunch of CC and you're in the jungle and your wolves can latch onto something, you're essentially useless before level 7.
That's a twofer.
At the very least, I would say you're useless before level 6 in fights. But you're one of the strongest mid-game carries that there is. So it's something to think about. Also, your wolves will always want to walk behind you for some reason. Don't let them do that, because they walk faster than you. Anyway, I'm going to say that's the end of this guide. Let me take a look at my glorious Lycan set.
Call to battle.
My Twitch account is twitch.tv/MACX10, MACKXTEN. It will be linked in this video's description. I got such nice items. And
Beware the wolf.
I will be posting on Twitter when I stream. When I do stream, I pretty much universally only play Lycan. It's kind of my deal. So yeah, if you really want to see some like good Lycan play, you can find it on my stream. This video is almost 20 minutes long, so it's a pretty good guide. I think it's pretty in depth. I think that this is the best way to make a guide. I'm sorry, I don't have any fancy overlays or anything like that, but I think that this is a very, very useful, like high-level Lycan guide, like relatively high. If your allies support you and play with you well, then you can have a Coddle is really, really good with you because he can hold the base while you basically run around. He can also pull you to the fights. Like, basically, you have the same advantages of a PL Coddle, except the Coddle can also stack for you, which is really cool. Anyway, this has been my updated 6.8 guide to Lycan. Please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, watch my shit. Thanks, I'll catch you later, bye-bye.